First,
Well,
can you say your names,
yeah,
both of you?
I'm Betty Hellerman, and this is my husband Leonard, and he was a dentist in town, and his first office was up above the Windsor Federal Savings, and he had a beautiful view of the old town hall, and then across the street was the green.
The Windsor House,
The Windsor House was
John Luddy's house.
Yeah.
John Luddy was a patient of mine, and I'd like to tell the story about him.
Okay,
Please,
you go ahead and
ahead.
do it.
I would love to hear it.
For the lack of more elaborate stories, I'll just tell a little short one about John Luddy. He was a patient of mine, and he was in the office one day, and he wanted some advice. He said that somebody wrote to him and said they're putting out a directory of millionaires. And in order to be in this directory of millionaires, it would cost him $200. Frankly, that's the whole story, because I don't know, I don't even remember exactly what I recommended to him. I knew he could afford it, and he was quite a dapper gentleman. What a really nice guy. Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny that he wanted to know, should he invest $200 to be in this directory of millionaires? At that time, $1 million was a lot of money. It's still a lot. So, Betty, what would you like to say?
Well, I would like to say that we came in 1954 towards the end of no, it wasn't 1954, I'm correcting myself, 1956. And it was towards the end of 56. And I must have been about 22, 21, 22, and I knew zero about the world. And so one day, I think it was in about 1957 or 58, a gentleman called me and he said, I'm looking for someone to be chairman of the community chest drive. That's what it was called in those days. And would you be interested? Well, being naive, I didn't know what it was all about, but I said yes. And I did it. And I can't believe to this day that I actually did it. I had a lot of good luck with getting good people, and he broke it down for me. You had to have chairman and then someone under the chairman and then local people making phone calls. And I found this lovely lady named Mrs. Ocon who lived in Wilson, and she helped me out a great deal. And then I got my neighbors all to help me. And
What did you do as part of the...
we had to make phone calls, and then we had a list of people. We had to go to every house in the community and all the way out right around here. And I thought Rainbow was the end of the world, and Palisado was even more the end of the world, because we lived in Windsor Center on Preston Street at that time. And that's one of my stories. I love the town of Windsor. I am a big cheerleader for it. I'm on the library advisory board and the library, what's the other one? Oh, gee.
Yeah, we wanted to hear about the Library Book Brigade.
Oh, yes, the Library Book Brigade. Well, the library was enlarged, and it was someone's genius idea to do this. So the books were stored in a house across the street, and we formed a brigade. And we was right across Broad Street, and we just kept moving the books along from hand to hand to hand to the new library. It was a wonderful experience. If I remember clearly, it was not a particularly pretty day. I don't know if the sun was shining or not, but it was not a real sunny day, let's put it that way, but it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Lots of camaraderie. Oh, and I have another story. Okay, one day I got a call from a gentleman named Steve McKay, who I didn't know, and he said to me, how about being the volunteer chairman for Summer Wind? And I had heard that Summer Wind was coming. It was an outdoor performing arts center, and it was going to be out Blue Hills Avenue Extended. We had some land donated, and that's how I met so many wonderful, wonderful people. I got over 100 volunteers, all by calling on the phone and telling them if they would volunteer, they could sit down after when the concert began and see the concert, the performance, or whatever it was. And then I handed that list down to the Windsor Women's Club and so forth. And that's how I met Florence, and I met so many other wonderful people in the town. We have a great, great town. We really do.
And I was the, I guess you'd say, official photographer for Summer Wind. And I took a ton of wonderful pictures. I have photographs that no one's ever even seen of all kinds of performers. Who do I have pictures of? Oh, just unbelievable number of famous people.
Do you remember when you started working at Summer Winds? With Summer Wind?
Summer Wind, let's see. You know, I can't really remember, but I know when the roof collapsed, it was a big snowstorm, and the tent, not the roof, but the tent collapsed. And then it did come back, and it came back for maybe 2 years after that. And then it just, didn't make it. So that was a big disappointment. But it was a beautiful, beautiful venue and great performers. Oh, Lou Rawls, you have a picture of.
I got so many people.
And Brubeck, Dave Brubeck, Judy
wonderful
Collins.
for these fellows.
Yeah.
And I have one photograph of all the volunteers
Of Summer Wind.
posing for my photograph, a sort of formal photograph of about, God, there must have been 35 of them at least. And I do feel bad that I have not been able to give photographs to some of those people. If they hear this video and would like me to make them a photograph, I'll try to do it for them. But I don't know, if you want any further stories, we can keep.
Well, it's on tape now, so you're.
You want me to keep going?
You got more? Yeah, if you want to.
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
when you're
more.
here this long, you have more.
I'll tell you about what excites me to think about Windsor. When I was in dental school at what was called the Baltimore College of Dental Surgery, it's now called the University of Maryland Dental School, outside the dean's office there was a bust, a figure, a statue more or less, just the bust part, and it was Horace Hayden. Who the heck is Horace Hayden? Well, it turned out that I ended up practicing my dental profession in the town that Horace Hayden was born in. And he and, what's his name? He and the other, he was the president, the first president. And every time I think about the fact that our Hartford Dental Society used to actually own the property he was born on, out on Hoyt Hayden Station Road, right off of Palisade, right adjacent to the railroad track. I'm not sure if we still own it, or they still own it, or not. Possibly we do, but they have not known what really to do with it, so they probably didn't want to keep it. But
That's where the Horace Hayden monument was?
Yes.
And they moved it in front of our Chafee house.
Well, it was on a piece of land. Yeah, right in front of the little shops.
Because I've read the
Continue, I'm sorry.
read the monument. That's what it says.
Yeah.
there.
You're good.
Yeah, and I think his brother or nephew, Anson Hayden, were you trying to think of? Anyway, other Haydens were dentists very early.
Oh, that's interesting. And we didn't know that.
so I guess I can elaborate even further. The monument now to Horace Hayden, who started the first dental school in the whole world, the Baltimore College of Dental Surgery. The monument to his memory is now near the Windsor Historical Society. But before that, most people these days probably don't realize where it stood and what it looked like before that. Well, right now, of course, it's by the Windsor Historical. Before that, it was on the triangle by Hayden Station Road. But before that, it was 3 houses up.
Mm-hmm.
3 houses up from a house on Stony Hill.
It was a globe.
It was, well, we were building our house on Stony Hill. I was technically the builder. I didn't know a thing about building, but I had help, carpentry with supervision, they call it. But technically, I hired the subcontractors and all that. So one day I went to the town hall to look up something about the property, the map of the property, and I noticed that 3 doors up from our house that was going to be built was some land owned by the Hartford Dental Society. Now, what in the world would the Hartford Dental Society want land in Windsor at all for? And I just couldn't wait to find out, and I found out pretty fast. It turned out that there was a reverend that lived in that house, and his son was a dentist, and they needed a place in Windsor to put a monument to Horace Hayden. So he gave him a piece of land, it must have been, I don't know, 20 feet by 20 feet. Just a little tiny piece of land right on Windsor Avenue, right on the street practically. And so the Hartford Dental Society built a monument that was of bricks. It was about 15 feet tall, I think. It had a lighted globe on the top. And on the front of it was the bronze plaque that is now on the rock that's at the Windsor Society. What happened is that the monument started to deteriorate. And so they just had to destroy it and take it down. And it ended up at Hayden Station Road. They put it on a rock. But that was really strange as could be when I realized why the Hartford Dental Society owned a piece of land right 3 doors up from where I was building a house. That was really strange. So
That's so
I
funny.
think that will do it for now.
Yeah.
We can
Thank
go.
you guys so much. We really appreciate you sitting
know,
down with us.